Alrighty, good morning. This is a kind of take two. I think my phone might have actually frozen. So welcome to our live for today. And we've got the beautiful Deon Wylie. Here we go. And hopefully she can see now that we're back online here. Come on, everybody, and say hi. Show us some love. Send some love hearts here. Let's see what's going on. If we got people coming on board here. Let's have a look. Here we go. Hey, Denise, how's it going? Good morning, good morning. Let's have a look here. Yes, now we've got people coming on. Alrighty, Pamela is on. Lauren Berry, go girl. Here we go. Denise, here we go. Here's some more coming on now. Let's have a look. Alrighty. Good morning, good morning. Katrin Lee, how you going, Katrin? All the way from Auckland. Hey, Rosalind. Hey, Deon. Here we go, girl. Righty. Oh, add. That looks better. Now we've got things happening. We've got hearts coming up. That's much better. Yay!
Yay!
Oh, bless us, I tell you.
It came up and it went all funny at my end, so I don't know what was going on.
And it went funny my end too. I think I was frozen. So God knows what. I'm not sure what face they were looking at, but anyhow, hopefully I haven't scared any children this morning. So let's say hello to some beautiful people here. Hey Jess, how you going, girl? And Pamela and Rosalind and Trisha. Awesome. I'm loving it. Everybody's popping on. Hey, Michelle. Awesome to see you all this morning. I hope you've been enjoying this series, everybody. And just for your reference too, for easy sharing within your teams, we are saving all of these to the YouTube channel. So there's a YouTube playlist that you're actually going to be able to share generally a day or two after the one's gone on by the time I downloaded, uploaded, and all that kind of stuff. Lauren Berry, good morning, beautiful lady. Hey, Jenna. Awesome. All right, gorgeous girl. Well, let's get into it because I know that you've got somewhere exciting to be this morning. So I won't keep you. But I just would love for you to share. I've been asking everybody, how long have you been in Juice Plus and how long have you been a national marketing director?
I joined back in 2014. So it was November 2014 when I was a stay-at-home mum. And I became a national marketing director. It was 18 months. So it was the June conference 2016 that I became. Yeah.
So you're 3.5 years probably. Three and a half years in the business?
Yeah,
and,
just over, sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, awesome. Fantastic. Now, and I know that, because life for you, because, you're a FIFO mom, there's been, lots of travel in there. There's been, you uprooted the family one time, moved to another country, came back, then you've moved again. It sounds a little bit like my family, actually, to be fair. It's just looking back over the years and that. And so the beautiful thing is that this business has been able to follow you on the way. Now, it's not always been easy. We get that. It's not always been easy. And I know, Deon, you have grown immensely personally to become the leader that you are today, even right past the NMD journey. I mean, that's been kind of probably, I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would say the most of your growing is actually done since you became an NMD.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit. So, yeah. So I would love for you to share, what are your top 3 lessons? What's the first lesson that you would love to share with people today?
Well, I think that there's so many lessons, and exactly what you said, Celine, is that for me personally, my biggest growth and the lessons I've learned most have definitely been since I reached NMD. It wasn't easy at all to get to NMD, but I've had a lot of challenges that I've faced since I reached NMD. And I think that's a really important thing to share with people, because so many times people look at us as NMDs and think they've got life together, they know exactly what they're doing, it's, easy in the business. And for me personally, it's been harder since I became an NMD than to get to NMD. So never ever pedestal anyone as an NMD, because we all have our own challenges. But I think that one of the biggest challenges that I want to share with people was at the not challenges, the lessons that I want to share is at the very beginning. So my sponsor and I joined the business within a week or so of each other. And I didn't have the success that she had at the very beginning. So when she was promoting through the business, I didn't have as many promotions and I wasn't bringing on as many people. And I think that that is a really important lesson for everyone to learn. In that 6-month period when I wasn't promoting and I wasn't achieving all of the things that I was seeing other people achieved, all I ensured that I did was I jumped on team training every single week. I went to the events every single week with the girls in tow. You know, when I first joined, Fraser was 3 and Evie was 1 and Michael was away. So they got dragged everywhere with me. And I think that that's really important because so many people these days see the quick success that people are having, and they get really discouraged when they haven't promoted to SC within their 5-month period, or they haven't promoted to SSC. And if we look at the leaders in the business, you know, if we look at John Holowatu, if we look at Linda, they didn't zoom through the business the speed that some people are zooming through now. So, you know, in those early days, though, I was consistent, and I think that that's really, really important. Those events were a non-negotiable. The training calls were a non-negotiable. And I learned the verbiage because for me, I struggled with a lot of confidence back then. I struggled with so much confidence, and, you know, I wouldn't even talk on a Zoom, or I wouldn't even speak in an event, basically. So in that period, I was constantly growing and listening to what other people were saying. And, you know, when we start to grow, that's when other people will follow, if that makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
I can remember there was one, she's now a team member, and she was on the product, loving the product, and she'd ask me how the business was going, and I'd be like, oh, it's okay. You know, I don't know if it's for me, or I don't know if it'll work for me, because we hear that a lot. And it was conference, which again, conference is non-negotiable. It was that conference at Hamilton Island, the tiny little conference that it was, that really changed my perception about the business and the belief, etc. And I can remember coming back from that conference and, you know, she said, oh, how was it? And I was like, it's amazing. And all of a sudden I've gone from, I don't know if it'll work for me, to having that conviction in my voice. And I think she joined in that business, the business in that month, because she saw that change in me. She saw that growth. But coming back to that lesson was, you know, even when you're not having success, people are still watching.
Yes.
People don't know if you're doing the business or not, if you're not expressing the business on social media or in conversation. And I'm not talking about vomiting Juice Plus over everyone, because we've all done that before as well. But, you know, really just being consistent, because you have no idea when someone who has been watching you for a long time is going to say, okay, what is it that you're doing? And they can come along and change your business. So that's my biggest lesson. First lesson.
Yeah, I love it. And really, if I kind of, you know, if I kind of encapsulate that in one sentence here, you stayed close to the fire. And we hear that all the time, and not everybody understands what that actually means. And it literally is, you plug into the trainings, you listen to the verbiage, you get on every call, even if it's the 1500th time, you're going to hear the same thing, and suddenly that penny's going to drop, or you will get the verbiage, and you will find yourself saying what you heard somebody else say. And I love Lauren Berry, she said she resonated so much as well, because herself and Adam joined at the same time. They've had 2 different journeys, but again, like Lauren and like you stayed engaged, you stayed plugged in, and this is why you're both where you are today. And Deon, the other thing too, was that you never made any excuses. You could have had excuses, you know, really as long as your arm. You know, Michael was 5'0", in and out kind of thing and whatever like that. 2 young girls, and you know, I remember seeing you. They'd sometimes even be on calls and whatnot. They're there in the background, even when you were living overseas, kind of thing. You just continued to do what you knew you needed to do, and that it would result in something down the track. And that's the thing. I've been talking to a number of different virtual franchisees this week, actually, just in messages and things like that. And at the end of the day, it's about staying plugged in, staying close to the fire, hearing it again and again and again, and one day it will all come together. I think we said a few times, and you said as well, and I don't know how many leaders have actually said it over this past 15, 16 days that we've been doing this. Consistent. Yeah, it really is. It's about being consistent. I love that. So that's the first one. Right, go. Give us again.
Can I just add one more thing onto that? Is
Please.
the team training, don't say you started the team training at the beginning and now you're not doing it, because I still plug into team training. I was on Linda's Wednesday night team training call. So, and I know that other leaders have said this as well, but 3.5 years, I'm still listening to the training. So it's not one of those things that you can train for the first 2 months and then no more.
30 years I'm still on training.
That's it.
I'm a bit of a slow learner, but you know what? You always pick up something new.
Absolutely. The second thing is the comparison game and social media. So many people have only got Juice Plus friends basically on their social media. So all they're seeing in their social media is Juice Plus, Juice Plus, Juice Plus. And they're also seeing the highlight reel. So they're seeing that, person A is living this amazing life. And they're really going, well, why can't I live that amazing life when I'm also in the business? And what we have to remember, though, is it's the highlight reel. We all have baggage, and I think this is something that I always make an effort to show the bad days as well as the good days, not to put a negative spin on anything, but to show people that life isn't all rainbows and, like fairy tales, basically. Yeah. And so many, I guess that's actually been a huge benefit for me, because I've had so many mums resonate with that. And oops, my phone just went all funny. It really did make a change, because I'm real and I'm vulnerable, and this has not been the easiest thing for me to do at all. So don't compare yourself to other people on social media. Don't be discouraged if nobody likes your posts on social media either, because that is something that a lot of people are just Facebook stalkers. And they're sitting there watching and they're waiting. And, you'll never forget when you get those messages that have been, I've sat back and I've watched for however long, what is it that you do? And I think that is really, really important. So don't get discouraged when nobody's liking your posts on social media, and staying true to yourself on social media as well. So quite often, I know I see it, a post will go up and one person will get 100 likes on that post, but then 10 other people all steal that post and they'll get no likes on it. And it's because that post isn't true to them, and their friends can sort of look at it and go, where did that come from? That doesn't suit you. So making sure that what you post is true to you. I'm not saying that you can't tweak a post and make it true to you, because, we all do that, but definitely making sure that it's true to us. And if you don't have all of those people on social media from Juice Plus, you'll realize it's not a saturated market. Whereas otherwise we hear, oh my God, everybody's doing it. Everybody's not doing it. It's such a small percentage.
Oh, and I can tell you guys, everybody's not doing it. I'm just going to let you know that, like, it's 0.5 of a 1% of the population that we're actually hitting. I mean, we've got an amazing reach, and we've grown our reach, but honestly, I can honestly tell you that not everybody has got Juice Plus in their body, which is the most important thing, really and truly kind of thing, getting that in to be able to change people's health journey. And then on the other side, then it, of course, is our amazing business model. So it's not. I want to come back to a couple of these things, because, again, we've got a few more C's. We've had consistent. Now we've got the comparison game. And, again, guys, we've heard this time and time again over this week. Be you. Be authentic. Don't worry about comparing yourself to anybody else. Really, comparison is just to look and learn and go, okay, that's interesting. Is there something that I could do that resonates with me, though? I mean, so many speakers have actually said that when you actually, and I said it myself yesterday, when I tried to be something else and fit into another box and all the rest kind of thing, this is me, it's just, that's okay. But when I tried to fit into another box, it just was not happening at all kind of thing. And it was hard work, and there was too many days of tears and too many days of I'm not enough. Whereas when you own who you are, you get to show up to be amazing. You actually, each one of us, I believe, have been put on this earth for a certain reason that only us can fulfill. And so when we're not playing to our strengths, we're not being true to who we are, and we're not being authentic to who we are, the world is actually missing out. So be you. I just love that. And the other ones too that you had here that, again, I love is, honestly, when we look at it, for the most part, Facebook is the highlight reel. It really is. And, you know, you're sitting here comparing your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20, as we hear Linda say, and a number of other leaders over time as well. And that write your own book, okay? Write your own book, because there's somebody that needs to see you and see your story unfold, and that. They're great. Okay. Oh, right. What's the next one?
Can I just extend on that actually a little bit as well? Is that basically, I've just lost my train of thought now. No, it's gone. I don't know where.
That's all right.
Yeah, it'll come back.
The next one and you'll go, oh, I've got it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The third thing is you can't help everybody. I got to NMD piggybacking people and helping them out with, you know, orders and business and all the rest of it. And it was a really hard and an amazing lesson to learn all at the same time, because I just wanted to help them. They said to me, I want this, Deon. I want to be NMD. I want $500 a month, or, you know, whatever it may be. But they weren't willing to go in and put in the work. And, you know, Celine was the person 6 months ago that I rang. I said, I can't do this anymore. This is too hard.
I get those tears I get those calls all the time. It's okay.
Yep. I'm walking away because I'm burnt out. And I had so many people just telling me that they want it. And I am a nurturer. I want to help everyone. I want everybody to reach their goals. And it burnt me out because I was working with the wrong people. I actually had other people there with hands up saying, I actually want it and I'm doing the work. And I wasn't working with those people. So it also comes down to playing in the same sandpit, which you talk about all the time. But you really have to have, you know, work with those people who are saying that they want it and their actions actually match what they're saying, because I think that's really important.
Do you remember the quote that I used? Do you remember the little saying that I used? Recruit the greedy, not the needy. And I don't mean that from the greed perspective. It's not, and greedy is actually not bad. It's hungry. You can interchange it with hungry if you want to, but greedy and needy actually rhyme. But if you recruit the greedy, they're the ones that are 2 hands up. They are willing to learn. They are willing to put in their feet and, you know, are matching, you know, the actions. You watch the feet, not the lips, kind of thing. So recruit the greedy, not the needy. You know, when it's the needy, you will literally be carrying them on your back over the line. And again, I know you learned the lesson hard way. I have a few other leaders that did as well, where you think that giving them, you know, an order or giving them a team member is actually going to do them. We are disempowering them. And guys, I really want you to get this. Deon, you know, I love your vulnerability and your truthfulness around this kind of thing. It is only creating a rod for your own back. You're creating a job, because people will expect that that's what you're going to do all the time. And the other thing too, it's the 2 E's. Are you enabling them to have to rely on you? And if that's the case, it's around your significance and your needing, okay? Or are you ready to empower them to be the amazing people that they are, to actually raise them up? And it's those 2 E's. Am I empowering in this place for this person to be able to step up and to be their own entrepreneur, or am I enabling them to have to rely on me? And if that's the case, that's the story that you need to change. And that. So I love your vulnerability around that, darling.
And I guess that too, it can feel so frustrating when you're helping these people and they're giving you the same excuses that you've got. I've got loads of excuses. You know, it was one of the most challenging times moving to Singapore, having the girls glued to me in a 2-bedroom unit, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, homeschooling, growing a business. And I'm listening to people who are giving you excuses. And it's like, I've probably got more, but I'm not going to I'm not going to accept that as an excuse. I'm going to accept it as a reason and say, well, I actually want to change my life. So, you know, it's a tough lesson. And I don't think we ever actually get to learn that lesson until we're in that situation. We can hear it, but it doesn't actually sink in. And I just remembered what I was going to say before about, we were talking about self-worth there. And, you know, even when the call came out that said, you know, can we have NMDs to share on this? I wasn't going to put my hand up because it's like, well, what value have I got to add? And I hope that I can just give one person on this call, or whoever's watching as a replay, we've all got value to add. And, you know, we've all got so many, like a story to tell. And if we're not telling that story, we're never going to help another person. You know, 6 months ago, and this is by far my biggest challenge, I stood away from the business after that phone call with Celine. And to step back in after, it was about 4 months, was the most challenging thing I have ever done. So if I would have just stayed close to the fire and maybe taken my foot off the business building side of things, it would be so much easier than trying to come in and reestablish after such a long period of time. And if anyone ever can learn a lesson, that would be a huge lesson. Don't step away.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, and you know what? I'm thrilled that you're back engaging, beautiful, and you definitely have value to add. You really have. And I just want to kind of, just look back, as you said, like, Deon has shared with you today, like, really stay close to the fire. She's just said that again. Forget about your excuses. And if you really want to, you know what? Write all your excuses down on a roll of toilet paper and then flush it down the toilet, whatever it might be, because no matter what excuses you come up with, we're going to top you, aren't we, Deon? We're going to top you because we'll have even more. So honestly, Don't make it a competition around that. So stay close to the fire, no matter how often you need to listen to that training. You plug in and you're there with those leaders and you're watching what they do and you emulate that. I think that's a beautiful one. The comparison game. You know what? Don't subscribe to it. We've talked about highlight reels and chapter 1 to chapter 20 and all of those kinds of things. Be authentic, be true, be you. I think that's the most important thing there, and you did great. And again, you can't help everyone. Recruit the greedy, not the needy. Okay? Recruit those ones that have got 2 hands up. That's where your time goes. If you're playing in a sandpit that is full of people that are just happy to hang out in the sandpit but not do anything, that's cool. Let them hang out in the sandpit. But go build another one, and another one, and another one, because there are amazing people out there waiting to hear from you. So I think that's really, really important. And to finish off there, you talked about it, Darren, and we're so glad that you actually did put your hand up. Everybody's got value to add. And this morning, you've added so much value, and we really, really appreciate you.
Thanks, Celine, and thanks everyone for jumping on. It's definitely, 3.5 years. I still get nervous doing things like these. So
yeah. Well, you did a great job. We really appreciate you. Well, guys, have an amazing rest of your Friday. Tomorrow, it is at about, I think it's 10 o'clock. I'll post it up. But yes, thanks, Deon. Big loves.
Thanks, Celine.
Bye.